Hello everyone, my name is Asyrafchazz and welcome back to yet another One Piece card game video. So over the weekend, it was the Singapore Grand Asia Open event. It was extremely fun. A lot of people were there. The event lasted for 2 days. For the first day, it was split into two major tournaments. One was the competitive event that had 400 and I believe 35 players, and the fan and fun event that had 169 players. Since I was commentating on day 2 for the competitive event, there was not really an incentive for me for playing the competitive event, because even if I made it to day 2, I couldn't even play. So I joined the fan and fun event and I actually got 5th. Out of 169 players, I actually got 5th place. So this is going to be a little tournament report, also a little bit of breakdown about what went down during the event, and I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. Of course, I had to rep my main man, Katakuri. I really was happy with this deck list, and I'll probably do a version 2.0 deck list in this video as well. But for those of you who are interested in the top 32 decks that made it through for the competitive event, out of 435 players, these are your top 31 decks, because there was a player that got DQ'd because of a incorrect deck list. So make sure you fill up your list properly every time you join a big tournament. But there were 12 Edward Newgate decks. Everyone wants to send off Whitebeard before the banning. This tournament was pre-ban list. It was on the 25th and 26th, and the bannings are on the 1st of April. Now, as expected, there were going to be a lot of Edward Newgates, and then there were 10 Zoro decks in the top 32, because you know, with Zoro you have a good chance against Edward Newgate. We have 4 Rob Lucci leaders, 1 Katakuri leader, 1 Black Yellow Big Mom, 1 Eustace Captain Kid, 1 Podcast DAs, and 1 Kozuki Oden with the Spice. So the decks are all posted on Twitter. I will try and do a updated OPO3 metagame using this list as a breakdown and kind of give you some example deck lists this way, but I'll save it for another video. Shout out to YT Noah channel for the graphic and for the information. Always greatly appreciate it. So make sure you subscribe to YT Noah channel. Link is in the description below. So the top 4 decks for the tournament were, I believe it was Zoro, Whitebeard, Rob Lucci, and Zoro. I believe 4th place was Edward Newgate, 3rd was Zoro, 2nd was Rob Lucci, and 1st was Zoro. So I know it's kind of skewed towards raid a little bit, but still, this is pre-ban list, so we should be expecting a different sort of metagame once Moby Dick and Kabaji gets banned on the 1st of April. So it was a great event overall. It was really fun. Thank you to all of those who came up to me, my friends from the Philippines, from Malaysia, for coming up and taking photos with me. That was really cool. Overall, it was really fun. I'm kind of glad I didn't join the competitive one, because the queue for the tournament was super long. There were a lot of people, and you know, being in the fan and fun event, it was a little bit more chill. There were a lot of participants, a lot of people just, you know, being around for the event itself. They had really cool statues that were given away as prizing. And there was even a table that I was part of that had all 3 Katakuri leaders on one side. So Katakuri gang, let's go. Here's a little breakdown of my matchup so far during my 7 rounds of Swiss. First game was against Red Luffy. I mean, I had a lot of games and practice against Zoro, and Luffy just feels a little bit slower as compared to Zoro. So just held on to the late game, and then I ended the game with 3 Big Moms on the field. So if you have Big Moms, you gotta play Big Moms. Then I faced a Rob Lucci. Now against Lucci, Yellow usually does have a good matchup unless they get an aggressive start with their Kakus. He didn't get his blockers in time, he didn't get his Borsalinos and Fukuros in time, and I had a lot of characters on the field going wide to attack, and I got the win that way. For the 3rd round, my opponent didn't show, so I got a free win. Now, the only loss I had for the day itself was against Zoro. It was a tough match. I could have had the game if I went a little bit more aggressive and wasn't scared of just ending the game there and then. Unfortunately, I made a mistake, I misplayed, and I lost the game. But it was still a really great match. My 5th game was with a Nami player. He played so well. This was the post-ban list version of Nami. It was so strong. He was down to the last 2 cards in his deck, and I was sure I was going to lose the game, but in the end he didn't have enough counters to win the game, and I managed to take the game from there. 2 cards left in his deck. He could have won any time if he drew like a Kaya or something. The 6th round was against Rob Lucci. I managed to control the board, and 10 cost Big Mom won me the game. And lastly was a mirror match against Katakuri. So I was really determined to win, because it was a Katakuri mirror to end the day itself, so I really had to play my heart out, and I did. And I won. So I went 6-1 during the tournament. It was 5 out of 169 players. So yay, Katakuri. Now, of course, I did dodge a lot of Whitebeards during the event itself. I think if I was facing a lot of Whitebeards, the result would be different. So I'm kind of glad I dodged all of them. So that's great. Anyway, this is the updated deck that I use. It's slightly different from the list that I posted a couple of weeks ago. This time I am running the 3-cost 5000 powered vanilla Pecoms. Thought of just going wide in the early game, you know, spamming out your 3-cost Parasparrow as a start, but on your 6th Dawn turn, you can play a Parasparrow and a Peccoms on the same turn. Try to go a little bit wider so your opponent has to deal with them with constant attacks from the vanillas first before you drop your Big Moms and your Katakuris and your 10-cost Big Moms. So I opted to play more of the 7-cost Big Mom instead of Katakuri, because if you are going first, because your opponent doesn't want you to go second and they choose to go second, at least on your 7 Dawn turn, you can play Big Mom if you have it in your hand. Or you can play a combination of a 4-cost character and a 3-cost character. And because I was praying that I didn't face Whitebeard, I took 1 copy of the Thunderbolt out. It kind of paid off because I didn't run into Whitebeards. And I added in the super rare Katakuri from the starter deck. I think this was a good addition because if you're going second on your 4 Dawn turn, if your opponent has already attacked you, you're willingly taking the life first, and then on your 4 Dawn turn, you can just drop down this Katakuri, get some information on your opponent's life, attack in with this Katakuri straight, and also have an additional attack with your leader, so you're a little bit more aggressive. If your opponent attacks into this and you can save it, go ahead. If not, you can let it go, and the next turn you can drop down 2 3-cost characters and then just start being aggressive from there. So this list is a little bit more aggressive than my usual style. It's really putting in pressure with your opponents in the early game with the 3-cost characters or the 4-cost characters, and then going for the big wins with Big Moms, and Charlotte Katakuri. Overall, you can give this deck list a try. I really did enjoy using it, and I think the great thing about Katakuri is that you can always customize it, and I really did enjoy playing this list. So give it a shot if you want to. So there you go. I just wanted to share what happened in the tournament, the breakdown of the top 32 a little bit. We'll do a more in-depth video on the OPO3 metagame, free ban list, with the top 32 deck list, and also from the other tournaments in a future video. But overall, I had a great weekend playing, casting the event, meeting friends. Thank you to those who came up to me and took photos. I really appreciate it. And there were a couple of people who said like, oh, I played Katakuri because of you. And yes, I am here to spread the word about Katakuri. Hashtag Katakuri gang. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.